In this video, I'll be reviewing Hapebeast. It's an upcoming collection with massive potential. And in this video, what I'm going to do is go through some of the criteria I use when it comes to analyzing and assessing and vetting whether a new collection is something I'm going to be investing into, whether it be pre-reveal or during and after the reveal as well. What's cool about Hapebeast is they are a London-based company, and in terms of the actual artwork, what they're looking to design is fully 3D artwork. And what I'm going to cover in this video also is their social media, their Discord, their time in development, any promotions they're doing at the moment as well. What I'll do in the description, the first link in the description, that's to their Discord channel. And keep an eye out there, because sometimes with these big collections, what I've noticed is apart from whitelisting, they also do raffles as well. And it's basically free to enter. And if you win, you'll get an opportunity to mint. And with these big collections, you are pretty much guaranteed to 3x or 4x your money minimum. That's why I only tend to talk about the high quality collections, because they just have a higher probability of success in terms of you investing your money and making a decent return. Now, looking through the website, so the first thing I usually do is I cover their website and some of their social media just to get a bit more of an idea. Now, on their website, there isn't that much information about their roadmap. Not a massive concern, but it's sometimes good to know what they're thinking about doing long term. However, in the short term, when it comes to actually flipping NFTs, to be honest with you, it's not a massively important. It's more important when it comes to kind of long-term potential and whether this will be the next kind of blue mint. Now, I really like the quality of the website. I think it's very, very stylish. In terms of numbers, we'll come back to this, but there's 8,192. That's very important when we come to tokenomics. What tokenomics basically is an assessment of the amount of interest, demand in a particular type of coin. That could be any crypto coin. It doesn't have to be an NFT. And then trying to assess whether what the value might be per coin or per NFT because of that interest. So to give you an example, let's say I've been talking about the Prime Apes recently. What if they had double the number of NFTs that they actually had revealed? So it was about 7,000 odd. What if it was 15,000? What would have happened to the value? That's where tokenomics comes in, is trying to make that assessment there. Now, scrolling further down, they have roadmap teasers. And there's not much here, to be honest with you, apart from, I know they've talked about some large collaborations. This could be very important, clothing collaborations. We saw that with CloneX and Nike, or Nike, depending on where you are. So that could be potentially quite important, because even straight after reveal, they may announce one of these massive collabs, and that will definitely push up the price, the floor price of this entire collection as well. Apart from that, they're just obviously making some announcements to be aware of scams, etc. We'll come back to this as well, but Digimental, that's the founder, and he is actually a BAYC, Bored Ape Yacht Club member. Now, a lot of the derivative ape products, a lot of the founders of these, they were already owners of BAYC, and they've gone and made their own kind of collections. Now, I don't think derivatives are completely dead as yet, as long as there's something unique somebody is bringing to the party. And I think these are definitely in terms of the artwork, which is why I think they could potentially do really well. They've got a massive support team, which is always obviously good to see as well. Now, in terms of social media, first of all, in terms of followers, they have nearly 200,000 followers. This is very high for a Twitter following in particular. I rate this in higher regard than a Discord following personally. And looking through these, the other good thing is when they mention some kind of sneak peeks and things like that, there's a lot of engagement. The other thing I want to avoid seeing is too much in terms of promotions for this particular project. So nearing the time of launch, what I tend to do, one way I do it is I just type in Hapebeast or Hapebeast Gang, something like that, and just see where it's being mentioned. Because I don't want too many people kind of promoting them just for the sake of promoting, to be honest with you. That's something I want to avoid seeing. I want there to be genuine interest in this project, and there does seem to be. I've noticed in a few recent ones that was not the case. So that's something it's not a red flag, it's just something that goes into, when I'm looking at the pros and cons, it's something that comes into the cons. The other thing I look at is development. So when you look at their announcements, when they first kind of launched the Discord and started talking about it and giving trailers and sneak peeks, it was a while ago. We're talking, way back in October. So there's an increased time of development. They're really taking their time to get this right. To be honest, there's been so many Hapebeast scams in the meantime because they're taking their time. They're working towards a project launch, which is release date of January 19th. Now that might not be fixed in stone as well. So just be aware of that. But this is something I like to see. Probably you guys are the same, but I've seen many projects just quickly launch. It seems like within days they've suddenly got a brand new Twitter account, 100,000 on Discord. They've launched something which is a quick ape derivative, which looks okay but nothing special, no real kind of roadmap, and suddenly boom, it's on OpenSea and people are buying and following into the project, and then it collapses. That's not what I want to see. So that's another kind of good sign as well. And in terms of the founder has massive following of 49,000 followers on Twitter as well. And I've had a look at some of the other designs, not only of Hapebeast, but it looks very stylish, especially when it comes to fashion. It does give me kind of Clone X vibes. So again, that's very good sign as well to see. Now, going further down, we discussed the kind of roadmap already, but in terms of tokenomics, this is where it gets very interesting. So what I look for is, I'll scroll right to the bottom of announcements here. I want to see if they're doing anything to promise holding the floor value or the value of this collection after it's actually launched and it's on the secondary market. Recently, some of the bigger collections, they've started to do that. And that's very important. For example, I'll give you, for argument's sake example, what if this launches and the founder says, look, we're going to sweep the floor and buy the lowest 100 of these even before pre-reveal just to make sure it maintains a 2 ETH price. Now, they're not going to generally go back on that, especially if it's voted in a community. And if they do that, well, this really makes it very easy to buy into the mint price of 0.2 or even pre-reveal to buy in at 0.5, 0.6 if they're promising that it's going to be 1 ETH, 2 ETH minimum, and they're prepared to buy any of the cheaper ones. So really think about that. This is very important. This is why it's important to do your own research and to read this thoroughly. By the way, just take a quick pause. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Although it's very early for me, I am contacting some of the bigger collections and it may be too soon for things like Hapebeast. But some of the ones launching later in January, which I'll be discussing on the channel, I am trying to get as many whitelist spots as I can for my subscribers in particular. And I will endeavor to do that. No guarantees, obviously, but if I do, I'm only discussing mainly these big collections where clearly this is not going to have a floor price of anywhere near 0.2 ETH when it comes to time of reveal. My prediction is it's probably going to be 2 ETH or more. I see it as very similar to Primates. And in terms of tokenomics, remember they're only launching about 8,000, but already in the Discord there's 475,000. Massive amount. I don't take on the Discord number at all. I kind of ignore it because the problem is you get so many bots in the Discord and so many people just trying to get raffle spots and stuff like that to see if they can win a free mint, which then they're going to flip anyway, immediately, just to make a quick profit. So that's not what I'm interested in. I'm more interested in general, how are they actually launching? Is it all whitelist? Are they doing a public sale? This feels to me that it's all going to be whitelist, and I wouldn't be surprised if they launch and many people who claim to be on the whitelist didn't even get a chance to mint. So it's all sold out literally within seconds. And if that's the case, if that happens, what do you think is going to happen in the secondary market? Same as Primate. These are going to get driven up and ramped up rapidly in terms of price. Just my opinion, of course, do your own research, but this is not the first time I've been involved with this type of project. Now, the other thing I've noticed is they've been asking questions about what to do in terms of whether they should keep some of the Hapebeasts themselves or whether they should actually buy and sweep the floor. And they mentioned it carries its own risks, etc., etc. I mean, I don't even know in terms of OpenSea and regulation and in terms of terms and conditions whether they're even allowed to do things like this. But it doesn't matter. And clearly you see they're doing votes for this. And they've got some feedback after that. And then they basically said, we will be buying Hapes at mint. To those of you who voted, thank you for your trust. And we've no intention of selling our apes. And I think somewhere else, I think they said they might hold it for a month or longer. Now, this is important because it will help hold up the floor price as well. So just keep an eye on this. And I believe they'll be buying on the OpenSea. So this will help ramp up the actual price as well. And some of the other things I look for, which I can't show you right now, is the initial market reaction. I'll discuss this as we go further once these are on OpenSea and we can do some chart analysis to see what the market reaction is to this drop? And the other thing, are there any precedents for what they're doing here? In terms of this kind of style, one or two, but not many, because again, it's kind of newish. I've noticed this more and more in the past few weeks. The other things I want to look at are mainly any announcements about raffles. So if you join the Discord with the link I have below, keep an eye on announcements and just see if they mention anything. Don't bother trying to get a whitelist for this stuff or trying to get into their general discussion tab and just typing hundreds of messages per day. It's not worth it. It's a complete waste of your time. And on something like this, you're probably not going to get through. I imagine a lot of them, the spaces will be going to influencers and supporters of the project, etc. So let me know what you think in the comment section below about this particular project, and I'll do a further update on it soon. Thanks for listening.